Hello, yes, welcome to another episode of Old School Movements. My name's Darren, entertainment enthusiast and lover of all things retro. By now, you know. Beside me here is Chris. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, mate. Good to be back.
Good to be back for another episode
Seems
of
a while
the old school
since
stuff.
we've done one, right?
Yeah. But you know, it's how it goes, isn't it? We're enjoying it so much, you know. Loads more old school stuff to talk about, along with Stacks. Steve, how you doing, brother? You
I'm
cool?
good, man. I'm good. Good to be back.
Easy.
How you doing?
Good. Everything's good, man. Because like I was just saying, there's so much old school stuff we can talk about, and I can't wait for the listeners to hear the other things that we've got to like delve into,
already.
man.
We've done a few already.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more, man. But today's show is going to be about old school children's programs you used to watch in the 70s, 80s, 90s, like, you know, but maybe we're going to go touch around the 80s more, ain't we? And then see where else we go with it. But we're not talking cartoons, but our first episode was cartoons. But, you know, amongst your Dogtanians and Mysterious Cities of Gold and Ulysses, you had your live action and your stop motion programs that everyone loved, man. So
the after school program,
you know. But where do we start? Should we just start with like Tony Hart and Morph?
Take Heart or Heartbeat? Was it Heartbeat or Take Heart?
Take Heart.
Take Heart. I remember it as first. What used to be Take Heart?
It was Take Heart first. That's when we went into the gallery and showed the pictures.
Right. And then it changed to Heartbeat. It changed to Heartbeat,
and it was more of like a sitcom-y type thing. There's a bit of comedy and stuff. There was a caretaker and there was.
What was it? Tony Hart.
Tony Hart.
Yeah, I like that, man. That was a good.
With his red bandana. Didn't he have red bandana around his neck and a sky blue shirt?
I can't think what you call it. Cravat.
Cravat. Yeah.
Cravat in every episode.
But as much as his art was good, you always looked out for Morph.
Morph was
that was the main character for me, man.
Yeah.
Morph in the gallery.
I only really watched him for that. Yeah.
Highlights.
I love that Morph. And what was his mate's name again?
Chaz.
Yeah. Morph and Chaz.
And Morph. They had their own little spin-off thing as well, I think, didn't they? Eventually.
Yeah.
Morph's own little show, and there was more of them. There was a family. There was a nail brush dog.
Yes.
There was a girl with
that's right.
glasses and whatnot.
That's right.
I remember it. But I used to like Heartbeat, man.
Yeah, the gallery dub. I always wanted to get one of my pictures in the gallery.
Yeah.
Come on, you must have.
Don't think I ever sent.
Well, I can't draw, so.
But kids were making things out of pasta shells, making owls out of pasta shells, and still getting big ups. And look at the ways, the different shades of pasta shells. Come on, that was big, man. I used to love. And you just go, oh look, he's only 5, and look what he's done. You'd be amazed by like, you wanted to be in part of that, you know, in the gallery.
That ran all through the 80s whole way. So Take Heart
and then Heartbeat.
And then, it ran all the way through from like 77, changed its name in 84, and then finished in 93. So, I remember watching that whenever it was on. Come on,
you had to watch that.
That was always on.
You had to watch that.
It was good.
You know, that was a BBC show,
thing, wasn't it?
Let's stick with some BBC shows that still. Rent a Ghost. Now, I don't know if I watched it from top to end. I just remember just seeing the jester.
I'm the same.
And the horse
characters.
person.
I remember quite a few characters.
But I can't piece an episode.
No.
I just remember it went Rent a Ghost.
Do you remember there was pantomime?
The pantomime horse.
Pantomime horse.
Yeah.
Was it Dobbin?
I don't remember no names.
Was there something in the basement?
It was in a house. It was set in a house.
Maybe.
And they rented out ghost services, and there was a Mr. and Mrs. Meeker. I think with like
you know it.
I remember quite a bit of it. Mrs. Popoff was was Audrey Roberts out of Coronation Street.
Okay.
And to me, when I see her in Coronation Street now, she still looks the same as I remember in Rent a Ghost. If she sniffed flowers, she would teleport somewhere, I think. Or if she sneezed.
That, man.
I used to watch it.
I
can't remember a story, but I remember clearly a lot of the characters.
All I remember is the jester.
The jester, I can't think of his name.
The jester and the horse.
Yeah. But Rent a Ghost.
Yeah, I remember Miss Popoff. That's what I remember. It was Audrey Roberts out of Coronation Street. Dobbin was the panto horse. Definitely Dobbin was the panto horse. Mr. Catchpole was the jester. Or just Catchpole, I think he was called.
What about Finger Mouse?
Finger Mouse was a bit, I don't know, quite a bit creepy.
I liked Finger Mouse, you know.
I did back in the day. But when I see clips of it now, and it's the dude, man, with the.
I haven't seen it since.
Have you seen it since?
Since.
No, I haven't.
Again, that started off as a program called Finger Bobs.
Yeah.
Late 70s or mid 70s, and then Finger Mouse was sort of like, I think, the spin-off from it.
Okay.
Finger Bobs, there was more finger characters. and and then fingernails sort of come off of that. I just remember that guy with the grey jumper, the grey glove. It was just
all I just remember is a cone, a grey cone.
The grey cone with the ears stuck on.
Yeah, and that was the mouse.
And that was the mouse. Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's why they had to move into more stop motion. So that's why your Postman Pat.
Hold on. What was the one with the caterpillar? Let's pretend.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. That was ITV. That was on ITV. But what was Let's Pretend about?
I don't know. It was
just a scenario.
It was one of them lunchtime shows. It was on at lunchtime.
Yeah.
It wasn't on like a.
It wasn't the morning, was it?
No,
It was.
It was like it was on. Remember, it
was on at lunchtime, probably like around the You and Me time and.
Yeah.
And
was it
or Kickstart?
Was it? Yeah, Kickstart.
Man. Oh, Kickstart. Was
Why don't you?
Oh,
yeah, Kickstart was good. We'll get to Why Don't You. But
Kickstart was good.
Kickstart.
To be on that.
Yeah.
You watch that and then just go straight on your BMX.
Yeah.
And try and balance on a curb
on a bit
of onto something else and then bunny hop onto that. That was wicked, man.
Do you remember sometimes you'd slyly catch like a BMX competition or something?
Yeah.
Like unannounced. You'd just be flicking through the free channels and you just see one BMX competition like that.
Race around the track.
This is me. I'm watching this. But yeah, stop motion, Postman Pat.
Postman Pat was good, yeah.
Postman Pat
everyone loved
was good,
that.
man.
Yeah. It was good. It was one of them first, I don't know, it wasn't one of them first stop ones, but I don't know, it was probably the most popular at the time. It just blew up, didn't it, old Postman Pat?
Along with that, like you had remember Cockleshell Bay?
I can vaguely remember it. It was a boy and a girl with stripy t-shirts.
Yeah, and they lived
like sailors, and they moved to a seaside town.
Yeah.
And I think they used to go on adventures with like
their granddad or something.
Yeah, and he was like a captain of a fishing ship. I can't remember if it was a fishing ship. Actually, I'm making that up. But yeah, that's all I can remember. It was a boy and a girl, brother and sister, and they had to move away. I think to live with their grandma, but she lived in a big house near a seaside. That's all I can remember.
Something like that.
I used to like that style, that stop
motion, yeah. And also you had Trumpton was that stop.
Trumpton was good.
Animation as well,
mainly famous for the fire brigade guys. That was Trumpton, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Barley McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grubb, them guys.
Okay.
Them man
At the end of
Trumpton people there.
At the end of Trumpton, they would be the village band playing the music to the outro.
Okay.
That was the fire brigade lot. Wow. And in every episode, they got called out. Because that's how I know the Pew Barley McGrew.
It was funny to say it because Fireman Sam was like that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now it's CGI.
Yeah.
No, I prefer the stop motion. Man.
Are any of these still about in CGI now? I don't know.
I think
Postman Pat's still about.
Postman Pat is, but like
CGI now.
Yeah, it's more CGI. Yeah.
Another thing with the Trumpton as well. Trumpton's like part of a trilogy. It went with Chigley and Camberwick Green. Camberwick Green was the first one. Yeah. Then there was Trumpton, and then there was Chigley. But they were all set in the same
village
area, like county of Trumptonshire or something, Trumptonville, yeah. Which I didn't realise that at the time. Only later on, reading about them, I found that out that they were like a trilogy of shows, yeah.
Never knew that. You know, you also
one had Windy Miller. I can't remember. It must have been Chigley. Windy Miller, the baker. We had the windmill. You must remember the windmill at the start.
No, I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of the two that you mentioned.
Windy Miller?
Windy Miller, yeah.
I don't remember that.
I think it was Chigley or Camberwick Green, or one of them, I don't know. And at the start, one of the characters would come out of like a musical box at the start. You'd remember it if you saw it.
Yeah. I think I kind of got that.
But yeah, they were all sort of together as part of a trilogy of kids things.
Okay. Well, you know, you had your stop motion. We can go Wind in the Willows. Another stop motion one. That was good.
David Jason.
And
the Toad.
Yeah, he was Toad.
I can't remember much about it apart from him.
But that was
the guy from Last of the Summer Wine done the rap. Is it Peter Salis?
One of them,
One of them guys. He done the rat. That's all I can remember. But yeah, they were quite good.
Charlton and the Wheelies, the Wheelie World. Remember the witch that lived in the kettle?
Yeah, Green Witch in the Kettle.
Yeah.
And wasn't the main character some weird dragon?
Yes.
Spotty looking orange.
yeah.
Little fat hippo
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
dragon
yeah,
thing,
that's
wasn't
right.
it?
And all the people were,
And there were spiky
on
things.
wheels. Yes.
That used to freak me out a bit. The
Charlton
spiky
and the
things.
wheelies.
I think I used to have nightmares of the spiky things. Actually, from Charlton and the wheelies.
I love that program.
That was an odd one.
You know, going back to like not stop motion and just saying, hey, listen, just create imagination. Button Moon.
Button Moon.
Follow Mr. Spoon. Button Moon.
Yeah, and the Moomins as well.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you did
Button Moon was proper like it's
could
basically
watch
was a
that.
baked bean can,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I could watch that. Yeah.
But yeah.
I can't remember what he did. Didn't he used to fly to the moon and then like look back at Earth with a telescope or something? Or
I just remember
I remember there was a telescope.
he just went to Button Moon.
And he used to look somewhere. Every episode.
Button Moon. And it was like 2 minutes long. I'm sure it was Button Moon.
It was a quick
Where are you
one.
today, Mr. Moon? And then Button.
Yeah.
Then it's done.
Everyone remembers.
Love that,
film.
man.
The Wombles.
I didn't watch that a lot. Now and again, I'd watch it.
That was
I didn't-
early for me as well. I think when I was really little, I was a little bit into it, but I can only remember the one. Is it Uncle Bulgaria?
You know these names. I just know the show.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, you're the one normally late. You're the one
Yeah,
normally
no,
late,
what's
isn't it?
happened today.
Come on.
I remember the shows.
Uncle Bulgaria or something like that. And there was Orinoco.
I
Orinoco,
just
it
know
just come to mind.
Wombles.
I don't know
They
what-
lived in Wimbledon.
Yeah, they did the Wimbledon. They
Exactly.
picked up litter.
Yeah,
That's about it.
that's-
all I
that's-
can say. They also remind me of, I think another sort of stop go was the flumps.
Yes.
Remember the little
Yeah.
furry round balls of arms and don't know
Yeah.
what they used to. One had a woolly hat. I remember one had a woolly hat.
Yeah.
There was a granddad one with a moustache, glasses, and a flat cap.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you
can
could get,
vaguely
like,
see
they're,
them.
They're like the stick-on things you can get these days that advertise stuff with the little feet and they're a little pom-pom with eyes.
Yes, yeah.
You stick 'em on your car and They
Yeah.
remind me of flumps. They also remind me of the Wombles. That's what got me onto that.
Or the Sooty Show. Come on, man.
Yes.
Everybody
Sooty
watched
Love
Sooty.
that.
See, Sooty started early, didn't it? It started in the 60s. I think,
60s,
didn't
isn't it?
Really-
But we
really
was on
early.
like the 80s.
Harry
Matthew Corbett.
We were the Matthew Corbett
Yeah,
generation.
yeah,
which was his son, wasn't it?
yeah.
And yeah, that went weird though. I think maybe late 90s or late 80s or 90s it changed. When the one I remember is like he was in front of a live kids audience, whatever gags, whatever it was, and then it changed to like they were in like a bed sit sort of thing, and he turned out to be like the sort of father of them. Like and Sue was there, and Sue was I think was voiced by his mum from when she was first introduced into it. Late 60s, and she voiced Sue all the way through until it finished, I think, until the end.
Is it?
See,
Yeah,
that's
it was
the Sooty show that I know. The one you're talking about.
That one. No, the
I
one
don't know anything
before it.
before
It was
that.
an early one before it. Where it was literally him at a desk, Sooty and Sweep under the desk. What was Sweep? Was Sweep a donkey?
Sweep was a
Dog.
dog.
I thought it was a donkey.
Donkey,
dog.
you
I
know.
thought it was a
Floppy
donkey.
ears. Floppy ears. Look at the size of that
Is it a
donkey.
dog? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a
Who
dog.
this is?
I remember the black one, Butch, the bully.
Yeah,
There was a black puppet.
He fancied Sue.
Yeah,
He
yo,
fancied
come here,
Sue.
Sooty, I'll get you. Butch, she was like a Scotch
was.
dog.
They were bulldog. wasn't
Was it a bull? It was.
Bulldog.
Yeah.
I'm
You know what
thinking
you just
he's
reminded me of though?
I think
Spit
it's
the
like-
dog.
Spit the dog. Yes, Bob Carriages.
Bob Carriages.
Spit the dog.
Didn't it? He had something else, didn't he? No, it was just the dog.
Orville.
And the
Oh, I couldn't
Crankies.
stand that.
Crankies.
Cranky.
Rock. No, wasn't he? What was the catchphrase?
Rock on.
No, that's
no.
Cannon Ball. Didn't they have a cranky?
Fan Dabby Dozy.
Fan- that's it.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my. I'm glad I didn't remember that. Actually.
Yeah. Fan Dabby Daisy.
Fan
They
Dabby
were- I was gonna
Dozy.
mention them later. because They came on. I think didn't they start in Crackerjack, which is like a
Yeah.
Saturday program.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
I think they did.
Yeah, we'll get to. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Raggy Dolls. Remember Raggy Dolls?
Raggy Dolls.
Yeah.
Raggy Dolls. Yeah. Misfit sort of bunch of.
Yeah.
Tossed
Wasn't there one
out,
called
tossed out.
Back to Front or something?
Yeah. they
Yes.
were Back to front.
Yes.
I think back in the day, if your mate looked like him, you would call him Sad Sack. Like Sad Sack,
Yeah.
got like
Oh, there was one.
there was one called Sad Sack,
Yeah.
and people started using that, like to call people. You know,
Yeah.
you
And it
like
was
Sad Sack.
Rag Dolly Anna as well.
I don't remember that too much. I think that was the same sort of thing. A
Same
doll
sort
that
of thing,
comes
but I
to life or
just
something?
one of them on their Todd now when
It went solo.
it went solo. Yeah. One of them
I
do
don't
their own
remember
thing.
that one too much.
Basil Brush.
Remember old Basil
Yeah.
Brush. Yeah.
Hey, I used to love that. I used to love Basil Brush.
Basil Brush is good.
Can't-
I didn't know
from
what he done.
Boom, boom,
Yeah,
whatever,
did
that's
it
all I
was
can remember.
it wasn't like a was it a game show or
I don't
something?
know. I think he ended up.
don't know.
I think he started off on someone's program, a program.
Yeah.
Then he got his own spin-off thing, which I think he ended up having like a game or hosting a game show thing as well.
Yeah.
Possible.
Something like that, man.
He pops up in all over the shop. Even today, I think he's still about it.
But
pops up.
But like Sooty and like Buttermoon, there's one show that probably had the best theme tune, and it was up above the streets and houses, rainbow flying high. Everyone could see it. That's
not the words I know.
Well, everyone used to sing another version in school, didn't they?
Sorry for spoiling that.
But Rainbow was major.
Rainbow was big, yeah.
I remember coming home from nursery, which was on my road, and getting home just in time for Rainbow and eating beans on toast. That was every day. That was my
I've got
routine.
that sort of memory as well. Same
Wicked.
sort of thing.
I love that.
It'd be good. I'll be excited to see what George and Zippy were up to themselves. They were always like the highlight for me.
Yeah.
I love the George and Zippy conversations and things they got up to.
Yeah. And but the Rod, Jane and Freddie sing-alongs, man.
Every episode would have one.
Yeah, every episode would have a Rod, Jane and Freddie sing-along. But the beauty was we got to be in one.
The weird thing is we got to do one. Yeah. We got to be in one.
We was about 6 years old.
Must have been, 6, 7, something like that.
They selected kids from different schools around that borough he was in, to be in a song about the colour red with Rod, Jane and Freddie.
To all meet up in the park.
All meet up in the park and wear a red jumper. Sing about the colour red, and I vaguely remember it, man. But it's the first time I was probably in front of a camera or something singing about colour red.
And we saw Rod, Jane and Freddie.
We saw Rod, Jane and Freddie.
You were both there?
Yeah, we went to the same school, didn't we?
It was in Gunnersbury Park as well. So it was
Okay.
the school.
Yeah.
You're not on the other side of the fence, though. They didn't go to our school.
We were singing about the colour red with Rod, Jane and Freddie.
I remember it, man.
Back in the 80s. But Rainbow was good, man. Was good. Whizbit, remember Whizbit? Ha ha this away, ha ha that away, ha ha this away, my oh my.
Your memory's starting to come back.
You remember?
I don't remember it too much.
You remember it?
I
Some
remember-
magic. We're gonna do some magic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's what I remember though.
I remember
It's
it being like a triangle.
magician, a triangle.
shape.
Wasn't he a magic hat with
He was
arms?
that shape. He was that shape,
No,
like a
hold
witch's
on.
hat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
Are
odd.
you thinking of Wordy?
No, I'm thinking of
Wordy,
Whizbit, man.
yeah.
Wordy's speaking.
Wordy was from Look and Learn.
Look and
which again was
Learn.
a schools program.
Yeah.
Which I was going to mention a little schools bit. But yeah, Whizbit, I can't remember. It was
Whizbit.
like a triangle shaped, cone shaped.
Yeah, like
dressed up.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was about though. I didn't wouldn't have known it was magic or.
I'm sure it was.
I remember the music. That's about it.
I'm sure it was something. I'm sure it's something to do with some kind of magic
come back to me.
stuff, man. But do you remember the time when talking of magic, Emu and the Pink Windmill Club?
Emu and the pink emu.
There's somebody at the door.
Yes.
Somebody, you remember that?
Emu was
Grot
good.
bags,
Emu was good. Croc
Yeah,
bags was
yeah,
good. With
yeah,
her little
yeah,
crew, she had
yeah.
the croc.
Croc.
Croc, and then she had like a
Some-
bloke dressed up
some-
in gold, like
some-
a robot.
Yeah, some C-3PO trying to
he
be.
was a bit lame, but the croc dude was
Croc, the Croc.
Croc was funny. Croc and Grot bags were classic.
Croc
I
and
don't know
Grot.
what she wanted to do with Emu. All these years she was chasing that thing to get
Yeah.
her hands on it. Get
I
my
don't
hands
know
on
what
it.
for. I
What
don't
did she
know.
want her to eat it or something? I don't know.
One of them Wiley Coyote Roadrunner
Yeah,
situations.
one of them. But that was good. We used to like a bit of old Pink Windmill. I can't remember what they used to really do on it though. I know there
It's
was
just waiting for the door to knock so they
Yeah.
can sing a
some
song.
girls dance troupe. That's all I can remember. That, yeah.
Yeah, Rod Hull and Emu. But as it got to like the end of the week and there was those Friday programs, we touched on some of those. Email still would come on a Friday and so on. But Friday really kicked off with Crackerjack, didn't it, man? Ooh, I could crush a grip. You remember on Crackerjack when you had to do that thing where you had to dip your face in something gooey and then some sugar puffs, then
Yeah.
feathers,
Yeah.
and apple bob for this madness.
I forgot about it.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And then you had a smash and grab situation where you took as much toys as you could and then went back on your podium.
That's the only bit I remember.
And whatever toys stayed in your arms,
yeah.
the ones you kept.
Or they kept piling things on. So I remember
Piling.
they had to hold
you want
cabbages.
scale electric? You want that?
And then they would give you a cabbage. You got to balance everything. You
Yeah,
had
you got to
cabbages
balance. Yeah.
and you could have ended up just holding cabbages.
Yes.
That's it. I remember I remember that bit. But apart from that, I don't remember much
Crackerjack.
about
That's
it.
all I remember
And-
about that show.
Oh, I could crush a grape.
Ooh, I Crush a
Yeah.
Grape
That, yeah.
is
I could
one-liners.
test drive a Tonka.
Yeah.
It was another one, wasn't it? I think.
Like a wrestling action man. That's what
Who
he
was
said.
that dude? Who was?
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his
Nah,
name.
he's gone. I don't know who that guy is. Crackerjack.
Crackerjack, dude, man. You also had, remember Press Gang on Fridays, about a group of young journalists working for a newspaper.
It was aimed to more sort of towards a teenager, like the
Yeah.
Grange Hill sort of ages. And
Well, I was about to say Grange Hill. That's probably
style,
what I would have
wasn't
been
it?
looking up for
Yeah.
more than anything.
That was the guy who's been in Snacks.
Yeah, that's right.
He's done. I think he directs as well.
Yeah,
now.
he directs
and
that's
acts
right,
as well.
that's
I
right,
can't
that's
remember
right.
his name.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
quite
Dexter
bad.
Fletcher.
Fletcher.
That's right. But yeah, Grange Hill, man, you can't
Grange Hill.
you can't
That was
ignore
a
Grange
controversial
Hill.
growing up. It was one of the things. You're not allowed to watch that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. No. It was
cool.
Yeah,
it was,
at
but it
the
was good
time.
though because
It was good.
you know,
Educated though, isn't it? But I think at the time it was so.
There was
I think because they had like kids getting pregnant in it at school age, and parents at that age.
But that was
in the 80s
that
were
was
you can't
like
watch that shit. Like,
later on, like in the early days of Grange, I just remember people getting beat up.
yeah, just
stuff,
normal school life, innit?
Yeah. And it went on for a while though, didn't it?
Yeah,
Grange
that
Hill.
ran for
But I know
years.
what you're saying with the whole heroin and it's just say no
just say
situations.
no.
There
It
was
good for passing
deep-
on messages
But
up with his
deep
Exactly.
storyline
They got
for
like
that
the
time.
top of the pop song out of that.
That's right.
at
And they
the
went to
time.
the White House to talk about
They did actually when
drugs
they
and stuff.
met I think it was
Reagan,
Reagan
yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy
but-
from Grange Hill to
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
that is kind of mad.
but
I
yeah,
think
but
that
Grange
on
Hill was the
same
go-to
set
program.
It was on the same set as where they filmed EastEnders.
That's right.
I remember seeing bits of it there, the school gates and stuff years ago when I went there.
Yeah. No, Grange Hill. There was no other school kind of program
No,
that even dared to
no.
challenge
Couldn't
it.
come close.
Grange Hill was just doing their thing. So yeah, moving into the weekends now.
You had the Crackerjack, obviously.
Crackerjack, number 73.
I think before that,
Going
you
live.
had the swap shops though. You had
Swatch, yeah.
It started off as I think it was the multicoloured swap shop. It started off with I think Noel Edmonds.
Noel
was,
Edmonds,
he was
yeah.
doing all of them, and then it changed to something else. Saturday
Saturday
shop.
Swatch Shop, Mike Reed.
And then it became just the swap shop or something. I
Yeah.
remember it like went through it. Cause that run for years as well.
Yeah.
That was going
Yeah.
through, and that was weird. That was something like you could phone up and trade toys and stuff. I think, wasn't it? You could swap shit.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's
You
right.
could ring up
yeah,
and say,
yeah,
I've got a Star Wars man with no
Yeah.
leg and I want a
Yeah.
keyboard with no keys.
Yeah.
One of them
And,
sort of
and
thing,
swap it over. Yeah, it's true. Nah.
I remember it was weird. It was like an early eBay or something. Noel Edmonds like the creator of eBay, I think. Sly old fucks there.
You're right, you know. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, remember Saturday Swap Shop.
And that was Tiz was
Tiz was
competing
like
against
his
it, innit?
competitor, I think, at the time, which was
Tiz was
Chris-
just all
Chris
over
Tarrant.
the place.
Yeah, that was just mad.
That was just
I got vivid things. Like
Tiz,
the custard pie
custard
bloke.
pies, Lenny Henry,
Lenny. I forgot. Yeah, of course.
madness.
Chris Tarrant as well,
wasn't
wasn't it?
Early, yeah.
Chris Tarrant, yeah.
Chris Tarrant and
That was
Lenny
a-
Henry. I
yeah.
forgot all about
Yeah.
Lenny Henry.
He used to have
yeah.
bread and condensed milk sandwiches. Remember that was his thing. That was
rings
his
a bell.
character's thing.
Yeah. God, I
Custard
forgot.
pies.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was odd though. Yeah, a lot was happening in that show. It
It was
looked
hectic.
like quite unscripted chaos.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cages and
Yeah.
there's things being thrown around the studio. But it seemed like fun. Flour and custard pies and just madness. But yeah, you said on the other side, on BBC, you had, Swap Shop, Saturday Superstore, Going Live
Going live.
with Philip Schofield and Gordon the Gopher and
Gordon
stuff.
the Gopher,
Yeah.
Hey,
Is that Sarah Green?
what
Yeah.
was Gilbert the Alien on?
That was
Get
Get
Fresh.
Fresh. That was
Get
ITV.
Fresh.
Yeah, so that was Gaz Top.
Yeah.
Gaz
Gaz
Top.
Top.
Gilbert the
Yeah.
Alien.
Can't remember. There was a girl
Yeah.
psychic.
Yeah.
Don't really remember,
And that's where we saw Centurions.
yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
for.
that.
Another good thing I think with what I remember of Get Fresh as well. I think that was the first one where every week they went to a different town. Their spaceship was supposedly
Right,
had landed
yeah.
in a different
Okay.
town, and there was kids
Yeah.
who turned up. And you can remember at the start all the
No,
kids
we're in
running.
Swapshire!
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of them. Whereas all the other
yeah,
ones were
yeah.
based at
Based-
Television Centre.
yeah,
or-
yeah.
That's another thing I liked about it. They got out and about, and that was a I think one of Janet Street Porter was involved early on with
Okay.
Get Fresh. I think something one of her little things. I think.
Okay.
Also, remember David Jensen being on it. Guy who used to do the chart shows. Is he Canadian guy or something?
Yeah, Kid Jensen.
Used to be on
Yeah.
Capital or whatever.
Yeah.
He used to be on it quite a bit, but I can't remember much else about it.
I remember
Centurions
Gaz
is the
Top.
main thing.
Gaz Top.
Gaz Top.
Gilbert and Centurions.
Gilbert was sort of a snotty looking thing.
Snotty looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snotty looking
green puppet.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Get Fresh was good. It only ran for 2 years though, I think, or about a year and a half.
But before that, I've got to say, before that, Whack-A-Day, man.
Yeah.
Remember Whack-A-Day, like at
Timmy
8:30 in the
That was like,
morning?
didn't like GMTV or one of them have like a early slot of
Yeah.
They had it
stuff,
early
and
in
that
the
was
week.
part of that, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
The Whack-A-Day
Whack-A-Day was before, it was Rolling Rap.
Yeah. Rolling Rap was on that.
Rolling Rap,
on
yeah.
that, yeah.
On TVAM.
Yeah.
It pains.
Yeah,
He would do his
Mallet
rap
do be a
rapping,
bit annoying,
and
but
then Timmy Mallet would do.
Nah,
Mallet's Mallet.
man. Come on.
You
Everyone
can't.
played
Mallet
that.
was
You can't
big.
deny
Everyone's
that.
been clubbed over the head with something
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
after watching
Mallet's Mallet get a plaster on the elbow.
whack a plaster,
Say
or whack a
whack
wave.
on it.
You
Yeah.
had to do the whack a wave.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
He was a nutty then.
Yeah. He was an odd one as well.
So we went for going for the Tiz was going live to get fresh. A bit later on, during the day, like on a Saturday, you'd start to see like your Metal Mickey. You know, just before 3, 2, 1.
That was like an early evening thing.
Yeah,
Metal
you got your Metal
It
Mickey.
was sort of just before your bedtime.
Do you know Metal Mickey was created by Mickey from the Monkees? You know, the guy who plays the drums.
That sounds familiar. I think I've heard
Yeah,
that
it's
before,
his show.
but No way.
Yeah, Metal
Oh.
Mickey, the show's called. So
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, it was his show.
Ah.
He created that, man.
I can only remember there's an old lady in it.
And this big
the
robot
thing, yeah.
It-
which
it-
looks like the thing out of Rocky 4.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Polly. Yeah,
Happy
that's
birthday,
the one.
Polly.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
that robot. It's like it's like that mixed with the Smash robots, but on
Yeah,
steroids.
yeah.
Yeah.
On Smash,
Thumbs up.
get hedge.
Yeah.
On Smash. Like one of them. Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah.
But Metal Mickey.
He changes it to a better voice, doesn't he? Later on?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Just a sitcom kind of thing, wasn't it? And with those kind of evening sitcoms, you also had like Super Gran. That would come on the Sundays.
Oh my God. I used to like that because it used to mention B.A. Baracus.
Yeah,
didn't it?
Stand Back Superman, Iceman, Spider-Man, Batman and Robin too.
The one that caused a ruckus
With B.A. Baracus, yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
Telling you.
I could
Understand.
go on, but I'm not gonna. I know the next verse.
Serious, yeah. She's a serious granny.
It was weird. Like I don't know.
It was a book.
Scottish
It
woman.
was Billy Connolly. He sang the theme song.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's just a granny with superpowers.
Yeah, it was alright. It was
Yeah.
watchable.
And you also had your Wurzel Gummidge.
That was good.
Cup of tea, slice of cake.
the-
But
Mr.
that was
Crowman.
scary stuff. There was a bad scarecrow.
When he switched heads, or when he took his
No, there
head
was, there
off.
was an evil scarecrow who didn't like Wurzel Gummidge. Pickles, I think his name was. And he was messed up.
Pickle.
Yeah, mate. You will look out for that scarecrow.
I remember when he changed heads. Like he'd take off his
Yeah.
gummidge head and put on like
Yeah.
something, and that used to freak me out a bit.
Yeah, just his whole movement.
I'm sure that was on
He
the
just
same
looked
time around the
uncomfortable
hole.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he moved. Like,
I used
hey.
to like that. He played that part wicked.
And I remember it always ended with him going back on the
and then falling.
on the props him up and
He
falling
was
backwards.
wicked. That
Aunt
was good.
Sally.
Was that must have been BBC, innit?
No, that was ITV.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Channel 4.
No,
Channel 4 wasn't even around,
No,
was
I
it?
mean,
no,
like
no.
early Channel 4.
No,
No,
wasn't
it was ITV, man.
So that would have been 70s.
Yeah.
Onwards, I think.
Wurzel
Aunt
Gummidge,
Sally
man.
as well. Is it
Aunt
Una
Sally.
Stubbs.
Yeah, that's right.
I only know her from that and Give Us a Clue.
Give us a clue.
Only things
Yeah.
I've ever seen,
Yeah.
I think.
And
Yeah, I used to like that.
and like that also Catweasel.
Catweasel weren't into as much, but I thought the character was good, and I read one of the books, so I liked the book. That's probably what put me off for watching that, but it was little bits I liked, the Toad, and just his sayings and the way he was. But
it's
I didn't really
movement.
watch it too
Yeah,
much.
Stig of the Dump.
Stig of the Dump was good. That's another. I don't remember much about
I don't
it.
remember much about it.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
It was. He was like a caveman. This boy
Yeah.
that was just it, but in the 80s
But in
or
the
in the 70s or whenever it
in a
was set.
skip.
In a, yeah, in
was
a
he a
dump.
caveman in a skip?
In a skip in a dump.
Yeah,
and
something.
I remember he had jam jars as windows. Remember he had jam jars to let
damn.
light in, but then
Yeah.
jam jars as windows. That's all I remember. I think some
Wow.
kid moved somewhere to the country with a relative, and there happened to be like a dump local, and that's where he found this cave boy. I don't know. I can't remember if they went on adventures or what. But I know I liked it. I remember it was good.
Yeah. Stig of the
Look at
Dump,
the
man.
dumps,
Damn. So like, get to some of these American ones now, man. Like, Happy Days.
Happy Days was good.
Happy Days was
Monday,
good.
Happy
Yeah, I
Days.
liked Happy
Days
Tuesday,
was good.
come on.
Fonzie and
Yeah.
Fonz.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
They were good,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I like them.
And that introduced that the spin-off was Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy was
Because
very
they
good,
appeared
yeah.
in one episode of Happy Days.
I didn't know this, man.
Yeah.
No, I
And
didn't
then
know
from that appearance, they got their own show.
that. I never knew that.
Yeah, Mork and Mindy was that was one of those shows, wasn't it? That you always watch. You didn't know what was going on, but it was space.
I couldn't really get into it.
And Robin Williams was always good on screen. That
he was very sort of ad lib, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His comedy was. It was sort of at that age watching it. It was sort of beyond me, but I knew he was funny. I knew the gags he was dropping are hilarious, but sometimes I might not have understood him too much. But I think that's just how he was.
Nanu.
At that age. But yeah, he was. They were classics. Classics, man. Again, can't remember. He used to answer to someone, didn't he? That
at the end,
check in with him.
Yeah, of every episode.
Yeah, it was odd. Yeah,
I remember that.
I like
but summer holidays, because remember, we had the weekday programs and weekend programs, but summer holiday programs were different because, like, as well as all the cartoons you had, the other things that were live action or stop motion are very few and far between. So you had the Monkeys.
Yeah, Monkeys was good.
Yeah.
Monkeys, I like the Monkeys.
Like the thing about the Monkeys, they were out since like the 60s.
Yeah.
And like how the old Batmans were, they came to us.
Yeah,
and we thought it was something new.
In that look of like how the Batmans were as well. But I always thought of them as like the American wannabe Beatles.
They were. That's what they were. Yeah.
But the comedy of them and the way the Monkeys.
The show was great. They're one of the first manufactured bands to have a TV show. But the Jacksons had a cartoon, and it was that time when groups had their own like shows, and the Monkeys just took off, man.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Was it like every episode they were on tour, or I think most
something
of the
was happening every episode.
Yeah.
Something was.
It was good. Yeah, I like the Monkeys. They always getting the chase off of someone.
I just always remember seeing it in the summer holidays, like the Red Hand Gang.
Yeah, Red Hand Gang was another one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, along with the Monkeys and like the Banana Splits. That had everything in it, like cartoons, live action, puppets, 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4, 5 banana, 6 banana, 7 banana more. La 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 la. Come on, man. Understand banana split, man.
Chasing each other around or something.
Yes.
Oh no, but that was the bear-looking things.
Yeah,
they were like bears.
People dressed up like bears.
Now they look like bananas.
Yeah.
There's banana splits now.
No, they were dressed up like bears and dogs and like big.
Yeah, big.
They were good.
Yeah.
I like that. That was like a typical holiday thing. You would only see that.
Still see that 6 holidays. I like Huckleberry Finn. Was on this, but I didn't like that, and that meant it's time to go out now. Like it's kicking on. It's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You should be out. You should be out. And that's why I hated Why Don't You? Why Don't You was a terrible kids program.
It seemed popular.
Oh, I didn't like that.
It seemed popular, but I was turned off by it.
Yeah,
it was like
it was just. There's a bit in the lyrics that say like switch off your TV and do something less boring instead, and that's when I switched off.
And they all called themselves like gangs, and I thought, these like they all seem like delinquent kids who shouldn't be on telly. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't even remember it, but I didn't get to that bit. The theme tune, but I love my theme tunes.
Yeah.
And like that theme tune, I didn't like the theme tune.
It had like a cartoony intro.
Yeah. But it's just about like just like making stuff.
The idea of the show was you send them a letter, whatever town they went to. It started off just I think it was like Scotland, Belfast, and Cardiff. It was like 3 towns that it was predominantly shot in with these groups of kids from local schools, and you sent them letters, and the letters would be either why don't you make this, or why don't you go there and check this out, or why don't you. So they were answering their letters and either going on little location places, checking it out if it was in their area or whatever. But I know there was some. It did move into like shooting it in England mainland, but I don't think I ever saw one in London. I was always wanted to, like, I want to see some London kids. I can relate to that.
I never watched enough episodes.
It was never shot in like Acton or Hammersmith. It was always far. And I'll tell you who else as well. First appearance ever of Ant from Ant and Dec was on Why Don't You when it was shot in the Newcastle Go.
Okay.
He was on it. And there was a few others as well. Andy Crane, first TV appearance from the Broom Cupboard. And also Pauline Quirk as well was one of the little kids.
On Why Don't You?
Why Don't You, yeah, from Birds of a Feather.
Wow. So did you watch Why Don't You?
Not really, no.
Because
I was like you. I got to that bit where it said, go and do something boring. Like, okay, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'd say, I'm going to go and check Chris now.
But there would be times when maybe I was too lazy to switch it off, and I might have just sat through it and watched it. But it was boring.
If it was like raining or something.
Yeah, if it's raining.
Otherwise, I'd be on my BMX trying to
I'm watching the Sullivans. I watch the Sullivans.
Nah.
I think because they
Sons and Daughters.
They weren't kids from my area. I couldn't relate to it. It was like they wanted to just go out.
I just didn't like the
I can't do that around my area. Like I can't be going to like out in the fields and doing this stuff, flying a kite. I live in a street, like
kite.
caught in the telephone wires. See, I think I just couldn't relate to it. I couldn't relate to it. That's why I couldn't get into it. But it felt odd. Like
Theme
as
tune
the
was
kids were all
horrible.
naughty. I don't know what.
I'd rather watch Bonanza, mate.
No offense. Bonanza.
I'd rather watch Bonanza.
That was when the hole burnt through the paper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That bit was bad.
But the guy from Battlestar Galactica was in Bonanza. The old guy with the grey hair.
Yeah, the grey hair. The Captain Amidala. No, something like that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you know, as we were saying from the top of this, we're not going to go through cartoons. Probably people thinking, what about that cartoon? What about that cartoon?
We done cartoons.
We'll probably do a part 2 of cartoons at some point. But we're just trying to stay in the live action and stop motion shows. But also there was a broad range of puppet shows that we can go through. And we'll start with everyone's favourite American educational puppet show. And that's Sesame Street, man.
Sesame Street.
Everybody from, if you're born between
compulsory.
the 70s and the 80s,
It should be compulsory.
Sesame Street.
Yeah.
You watch Sesame Street. Learn your numbers.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's
6,
the
7, 8,
7,
9, 10, 11, 12.
Have you heard the
learn
music?
that stuff.
Hey, the music behind that is
It's
so
good.
funky.
It's good.
man.
Some proper disco.
My God.
Funky.
70s disco style.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah. Like as you were saying, like
It's obviously
Sesame
connected
Street.
with the Muppets, isn't it? 'Cause it's the same
Yeah,
sort of
Jim Henderson's
characters.
workshop.
But the idea of it was good.
Yeah,
And
it's so
always seemed to
educational.
be like South American kids on it, and the presenters.
Yeah.
seemed to be, like, aimed
They
at
were
that,
breaking boundaries at that time,
it was
man.
good.
It was well put together, and it wasn't a moment I was bored. I was
No.
entertained all the way through,
Characters
but it seemed
were
like a long program.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
wasn't
It seemed
bored.
like hour and a half. Or
Yeah.
something sometimes, but it was all split up into
It was
nice
all-
little
yeah,
bits.
little.
It was all good.
like-
The Dracula dude, Count. What was that? He was in that, wasn't he?
Ah,
Counting. He was in
ah.
that.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Gonzo,
Gonzo,
yeah,
yeah,
Guy
of course,
Smiley,
yeah.
the news reporter with the big
Yeah.
chin.
Oh, Guy Smiley.
Guy
yeah.
Smiley, and then Kermit used to be the news reporter
Yeah,
sometimes.
And you had the scientist.
Scientist.
Oh no, that's
Sesame Street. Scientist was in. There was a scientist in not Sesame Street. Muppets.
Muppets,
Muppets,
Scientist,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
You
Yeah.
know, your Big Bird, Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Yeah,
remember them?
Big Bird.
The
Come
one
on,
in the
man.
trash can.
Grouch.
Grouch.
The Grouch.
Groucho?
whatever, yeah, you can't
Grouch.
forget
Grover.
Grover. Super
Cookie
Grover.
Monster.
Cookie
Cookie.
Monster. Cookie Monster. Classics.
Come on, man.
Classics. Everyone should. Yeah. Everyone
Even
should
though
go out
no
and watch
cookie
them.
went in his mouth, it just dash
Everywhere,
things and
yeah.
just.
He couldn't actually swallow. I don't want to
Nah.
spoil that for kids.
Yeah.
But he can't actually.
Yeah, the
swallow.
Cookie Monster does exist. He eats cookies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was good.
But
I used to like
yeah, the whole Jim Henderson's workshop at that time was just smashing it. Like, because in the mornings it was Sesame Street, in the evenings it was the Muppet Show.
The Muppet, I felt like a late night, not a late night, but an evening
like
show.
a 7 o'clock
As if you're at the
variety
Palladium.
show. Yeah,
like a variety
and
show.
the Muppet Show was something for everyone. It had the adult jokes with
Yeah.
the two guys in the box.
in the box,
you know.
and maybe a guest that suited
it may
the
be a
adults,
guest that suited
or
adults.
an action
Yeah.
hero to suit the kids.
Yeah, or actually exactly.
were good.
The guests were good. Remember the Star Wars episode?
Yeah,
that was.
yeah.
It's like, Star Wars just come out. Empire Strikes Back was on its way, and like they went into pigs in space.
Oh, yeah.
And they were looking. They had Luke Skywalker looking for Chewbacca, and
Yeah.
come on,
That was
man,
wicked.
it was wicked. It was
wicked.
just like
I remember the Stallone being on one.
yeah.
It was wicked,
So
yeah, it was
they
bad.
had everyone who was at the
And like you
time.
said,
you
them
know.
two characters up in the box. I can't remember their names.
They
now,
had
but
Waldorf
the
and
Waldorf grumpy old men.
something. Yeah, the two
Yeah.
grumpy old
Yeah.
men. The
Yeah.
classics.
yeah.
Classics.
They were the two like famous hotels.
Mm.
The Muppet Show. Muppet Show was just like I say, they say the Gonzo, the Fozzie Bear, the Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
Kermit Frog,
Animal.
and just come on, man.
Animal was, yeah.
The funky, the funky
They were
band,
wicked.
the one with the gold tooth, the funky
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
They smoked weed, didn't
Yeah.
they?
The band was wicked.
Those dudes
Yeah.
smoked
The band-
weed.
some
man.
of them are proper red. They're red eyes.
They're red. That's what I'm
eyes.
saying. There was one girl with just
Yeah.
eyelashes, just like
Yeah.
that on
That was
high.
a shot. That was
Yeah.
that was a shot looking.
Just like
Yeah.
yeah,
Even
but
Fozzie Bear, man, definitely.
yeah, waka waka waka.
Yeah, he was on something.
He was on side,
Yeah, it
man.
was
What was
wicked.
under his hat,
It was
man?
wicked.
He was sneaky. Do you remember the ones that weren't puppets and they were like dudes dressed up? They used to freak me out. Like
Well,
a
the
big like a big brown
Fraggle
ball,
Rock
red
used to have
nose,
them
yeah,
as
it's
well,
a
innit?
boom boom kind of beast. I was like, what the hell is that?
that?
Next to the guy with the blue nose, remember the eagle blue eagle?
I used
dude?
to like him.
And it was
It's like that big blue eagle one. He was.
But I
funny.
say, 80s and Jim Henderson's workshop, all the puppets like
They're
Fraggle
wicked.
Rock, man. Fraggle Rock.
was wicked
They just,
as well. That
yeah,
had big brown things.
Yeah,
those,
that's what I'm saying.
those
Them
types
things
of
running
things.
around, yeah.
Those
With Marjorie, the trash heap. think it was Marjorie or
think
something.
her name,
I
yeah.
think she was above where the Fraggle Rocks
Yeah,
lived
she was like a
underneath, innit?
Jabba the Hutt, but leaves.
Yeah, but leaves.
Yeah.
Leave it up.
And they were in a lighthouse or something.
No, went in the back of the garden.
No, it's a Fraggle Rock. They were on the, there was
No, it's
nothing to do
Fraggle
with
Rock.
A
A lighthouse. There was a
But I
guy.
think it was the
He had a
garden
dog
of-
called Sprocket. Sprocket.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember him and Sprocket?
Yeah, yeah, do you? There
And
was
the
a
dog,
live
and the
action
dog,
man.
the dog would through a vent. I think
Sniff
if
out
you went
the-
through the
yeah.
vent, you would end up in Fraggle Rock.
Something like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
You remember? It was
yeah.
Travelling Matt
Uncle Travelling
Travelling
Matt or
Matt
someone. Yeah,
would come out of the vent and tell his
Tell the
stories.
stories. Yeah, they'd be sitting amongst the grass or something.
Yeah. Remember? And Travelling
was
Matt
a
would just
lighthouse.
travel all around the world and tell him his
I
stories.
don't think he'd actually gone far. Had he actually gone far?
No, he went around the world.
I
I'm
thought
sure.
he was only travelling like within a few hundred yards. I think he's gone.
I'm
far.
sure he went around the world. I may be wrong, but he sent postcards and stuff.
Yeah, he did send postcards, but yeah, I used to like that. That was
And the dudes, remember little green
Yeah.
dudes?
and someone used to eat their scaffolding.
The Fraggles used to eat
The
them.
Fraggles used to eat
Yeah,
their
the taste
scaffolding.
of sugar or
As soon as
something.
they'd make a scaffolding, they'd eat it.
But Fraggle Rock came out a bit later because the Muppet Show and Sesame Street were still running things for a long
Through
time.
through
Throughout the
70s,
80s.
80s.
But you had things jumping in and out like Alf.
Alf, I was going to mention it.
Alien
as well.
Life Form.
And,
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple of them.
Bigfoot and the Hendersons.
Bigfoot
That
and
was
Hendersons.
another-
But that was
yeah,
a
I
spin-off
saw a
from
couple
the film, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
Alf was alright, you know.
Alf always reminded me of Ross from Friends.
Yeah.
He just looked like him to me.
Yeah, well, Ross looks like Alf.
Yeah,
It's true.
just got that
It's true.
Ross
Yeah, it's
Alf
got that,
face.
Yeah.
The Alf face.
Alien
Blu-ray
life
DVD
form.
Monday.
I wasn't massively into Alf, but yeah,
Nah.
I kind of liked it. If it was on, I'd maybe watch it. It wasn't too bad.
Alf, man. Alf. So yeah, so the puppet stuff. Remember the dinosaurs?
Yeah, I do, you know.
The dinosaurs.
Yes.
And they had little baby
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
And they were like people walking
That
around.
wasn't very good, though.
That wasn't very
Yeah,
good.
I do
But they
remember.
tried to, because at the time when The Simpsons had come out, so they wanted to throw something in, and Jurassic Park come out. So hey, let's do a family of
It
dinosaurs.
was, I think, of trying to.
You know,
Jurassic Park. Trying to do
That
something.
failed miserably.
That
Yeah,
kind of
went
thing,
into
man.
that.
But also, you know, we got to touch on the action puppet. You know, again, a lot of them started off in the '60s with Captain Scarlet, Fireball XL5, Stingray,
That was good. I liked it. Thunderbirds,
Joe 90,
Joe 90.
90.
Thunderbirds,
It was
Terrorhawks.
a bit later on, but that was probably one of my favourites.
But my favourite was Starfleet, man.
Starfleet was good. I forgot about
Starfleet.
Yeah,
Because you know I loved it.
Starfleet.
It was the only one of all of them that had a main black character in
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah.
You remember the
Wicked
black
little
character?
sponge hair.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was wicked, yeah. It was just a bit of sponge, you could tell. They
yeah.
kinda stuck it in his
The
hair.
black character.
Was
and
it
the,
Shiro?
no, Shiro was the main guy,
yeah.
and his crew was
I forgot all
was
about
was
that.
the black dude. There was another
I'm
dude, and
thinking that was Terrorhawks. but no,
nah,
this
that's
is
Starfleet, and the music was by
Starfleet.
Brian May from
Was
Queen.
it?
Starfleet, Starfleet.
Whoa,
yeah,
I
he
didn't
done the
know that.
theme tune to it and stuff.
Starfleet
Yeah,
was good.
Starfleet, and yeah, Shiro
The
was the
ship
main
was
dude,
good.
and had like a Chewbacca type character, like
Yeah.
a white kind of like beast. That
Trying to think of like the enemy guy in it. It was
the
like
enemy was a female character, and she had a face on her eye
robot-y-
patch was a face that would tell her stuff. I'm sure her eye patch was a
I think it
face.
was like half robot, half face or something.
I'm sure her eye patch was a face, and that was their advisor or something. And the ships were like ants,
Remember
shapes
the ships
of
were good.
ants.
That's one of the things I liked about it, the way their ships were, and just
Yeah.
the way it was made.
Starfleet,
Was it sort of Postman Pat looking?
No, it was puppets. It was
it
puppets.
puppets?
Yeah,
No, yeah, Starfleet was good.
Starfleet.
I'll have to look one of them.
Yeah, Shiro and his crew,
Yeah,
man.
I just remember Shiro and the black character.
Black character.
Them two were wicked.
Sure, the guitar as well.
He reminds me of the guy out of. He reminds me. Of,
Yeah, see. Stacks has just brought up some footage of a classic
I'll have to
episode
watch
of
a bit of that.
Starfleet.
Hey, look, big,
Everybody
man.
wants to see Starfleet
The black guy
now.
reminds me of an actor. He's out of like
He reminds me of the black guy in Dawn of the Dead.
It might be Dawn of the Dead. I'm thinking of. I think it might be Dawn of the Dead. I'm thinking of, but he was an actor that's very similar. They almost look identical.
I feel like I need to watch this. It looks
Yeah, I
like
need to-
it actually
Yeah,
looks
Starfleet.
major.
We might have to
Even
wrap
now.
this one up, guys.
Hey, look, Starfleet was big.
Check it out.
But back in them times, there wasn't like TV planner when you knew when a program was
No.
coming on. Sometimes programs
No.
didn't come on always at the same time they're supposed to come on at. So if you didn't buy Looking, if you didn't buy Looking magazine, because remember Looking had had a TV section, but just for kids. It just showed you
it just shows you
kids'
kids,
TV.
but yeah, it's
I
true.
forgot all about that.
And it's like, and that's why I bought Looking for that reason as well as flicking through the pages and reading the World's
That
Damage
was
cartoon
like
strip.
the of the time where you.
Yeah, you'd look
It
at.
told you everything entertainment you needed,
Yeah,
didn't it?
put on
And
the 3D glasses on the
words,
front.
3D
Yeah, and
glasses.
you're sold, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do a little crossword or something in there, and
Looking was good. I forgot
You know.
about that magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helped you out plan your TV looking like
Yeah.
what you're gonna watch.
but yeah, Terrorhawks was more competing with Thunderbirds. 'Cause Thunderbirds had been going for ages, and Terrorhawks wanted to bring a new style of, space war against the enemy in their puppet style. Remember at the end, they had the noughts and crosses, because the good guys were like balls,
The little round balls with the eyes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the badge were like cubes of crosses, and they were the soldiers that they would get to fight each other.
And I think wasn't like the enemy a woman.
The woman in EastEnders.
I was about to say, looks like the woman
Yeah.
in EastEnders.
Looks like also her name, Zelda. Her name was.
Zelda was her name, and she looks like something Carter off of
Shirley, is
Shirley Carter. off
Yeah.
of EastEnders.
Yeah, I remember now. Now that you said it, it's all come back to me. Yes.
That's all I can
Zelda,
remember. Of
yeah.
Terrorhawks, her, and them little round ball things with the
Round ball
eyes.
things.
Which
Yeah.
remind me of the
Yes,
Black
yes.
Hole, but they're a bit different. Remember that film,
Yeah,
The Black
Black
Hole? They had
Hole,
little
the
flying,
Disney film.
two flying robots. It was similar, but
they were like just balls. Yeah. But yeah, she looked like, as soon as I saw this woman appear in EastEnders, I was like, that's Woman of Terror. That's what
Zelda,
she's doing
that's
now.
Zelda.
Yeah, that's
It was
Zelda.
wasn't it? That's Zelda.
She ain't got her strings no more.
Yeah,
Good on her.
it's Zelda.
But yeah. So, and Thunderbirds. Again, I wasn't a big fan of Thunderbirds. I just like to see all the different Thunderbirds come out. Like, I just like the underwater
spaceships
ones.
and- yeah.
There was the yellow
Yellow
like,
little sub
sub
one.
one.
I think that came out at the back of
That
Thunderbird
could-
2.
yeah.
So Thunderbird 2, the big green
That's
one.
Thunderbird 4, I think. The
Beetle
yellow
looking one,
yeah.
and that yellow one were like the best too. Like,
Yeah.
So you didn't care about what Thunderbird 1 was up to,
Yeah.
and you just wanted to see what that one was
That
up
one
to,
was-
what
yeah.
his mission was.
Yeah, yeah.
I think as well, like back in our day, obviously it had been running a long time before we were about, but they tried to get us into it by launching toys.
Yeah.
Which they weren't as popular, I don't think.
They didn't really
I
kick
think I
off.
remember having like a Matchbox size Thunderbird 2, but I never got into
Yeah.
any of them big
ones.
big
or
ones.
Figures
And I
or
think
nothing like that.
we slowly getting out of our generation. The next generation got big into like the actual Tracy Island.
Yeah.
And it was like the massive hit at Christmas when you
Yeah.
couldn't get it. No one. It was sold out
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
right, that's right. But we'll get to that on another podcast.
Yeah, I never got
man.
into that toy.
You
Weren't
know.
one of our toys.
But yeah, puppets, man. But I said, Captain Scarlet and so on, Joe Knights and so on. But they were the puppets with strings. Starfleet for me, hands down, was the best out of all of them.
Yeah, Starfleet was
For
good.
me,
Kind of like Stingray as well.
yeah.
I like
Stingray was
the
good,
opening title, the song, the
Yeah,
end bit,
Marina.
or whatever,
Yeah,
Maria,
yeah.
whatever her name was.
Yeah, yeah.
I quite like that one.
But Sunday nights, 10 o'clock or 10:30, ITV, LWT,
London
Spitting
Weekend,
Image, man.
Another controversial one.
Spitting
Time.
Image. That
Quite
was
political.
one, you shouldn't be up.
Yeah.
And 2, you shouldn't be watching it.
True.
You shouldn't know this stuff.
Yeah.
You shouldn't know who these people are.
You should know who these people are.
None of your
But
business.
if you were
Yeah,
famous,
definitely.
if you were mega famous in the 80s, you was going to be on
you were
Spitting
going
Image.
to get ripped on Spitting Image.
You were going to be on Spitting
Yeah.
Image. But you can see that two ways. It's either a homage, like,
Yeah.
I'm recognised. If I'm in Spitting Image, I'm popular. You know
Total
what I mean?
opposite.
Or they just want to,
They just want to disgrace you.
yeah.
Play on
Exactly.
any little insecurity you might have.
Yeah,
and
any mad little
they used to
facial
kill the government.
feature.
Spitting
Spitting
Image was
Image.
funny though, man.
Spitting
That
Image
was seriously funny.
Hilarious, yeah.
Yeah.
They had spin-off songs in the charts.
Yeah, they got to number 1 with Hold Your Chicken in the Air, didn't they?
Yeah. Hold a chicken. What was that about? But yeah, everyone was into it.
It's one of them holiday songs. They're like, good do.
Oh.
It's like, one of
It
them.
always comes on, isn't it? You always hear it. Even to this day, it still sometimes gets played.
Spitting Image. Hold
Spitting
a
Image was
chicken in
good.
the air.
Yeah, any big topic at the time.
Yeah,
whatever
they
could
had it
be.
covered. Like, remember, for the whole 80s, it was Reagan and Thatcher.
Yeah.
And when you see Spitting Image,
And Gorbachev.
And Gorbachev,
Yeah.
With the bird,
yeah,
the bird.
you're guaranteed to see those 3 characters in every episode, and the Queen pop in now and again.
Remember John Major?
Yeah,
it
it
all
was great. It
grey.
was
All
just
grey.
great eating peas.
Favorite food.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Tonight I'm having peas.
Yeah, they were spot on with the characters,
Good.
man.
Characters
The Michael
were
Heston
wicked.
time used to scare me. The way they made him look, it was.
Even like think about the way it was shot, 'cause they were standing up or
Yeah.
underneath a false
Yeah.
floor, wasn't
Yeah.
it? With the, like,
Sometimes it was freaky when their hands would come out and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, hey, that's not right. That's a hand.
yeah. But it was wicked how it was done, man.
Nah, it
thinking
was good.
about
It
it.
was-
The puppets were really
Yeah,
good.
they were really current. Whatever happened in a week, they were
And I
covering.
remember as well at the time you could buy like little ones you could put on your hands, the same characters.
Yeah.
They
with
were
the
made by
3
Skool.
holes in the back.
3 holes in
Yeah.
the back, you could screw up their faces and make
That's
them look
right.
like Maggie Thatcher
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
And
That's right.
they were
that's
quite
right.
popular as well.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of seemed to have a few of them.
Yeah.
And you could buy dog chews of them as well. Maggie Thatcher
Yeah.
spitting image dog chews. So your dog
Yeah,
chew
yeah,
could
yeah,
rip her head
yeah.
off.
I remember just getting excited because you'd more relate to like film stars and musicians
yeah.
and that.
If they were on it,
You remember see like
Yeah.
Mr. T, Sylvester
it
Stallone, Arnold
was sort of
Schwarzenegger. It's like
more or less politics when it was
yeah,
at the time.
yeah.
But
they've done current pop
occasionally,
culture
yeah,
and
like you
stuff.
say, if you got like an
Yeah.
army on it, all right, it
Yeah,
was like, wow,
yeah.
that's wicked. Watching it this week.
Spitting image, man. Spitting
Spitting
image.
Image
But
was
that,
good.
but that wasn't. I know we're talking about kids' TV shows in this episode, but we had to go spitting image, man. We went in the puppet zone, so
Puppets, man.
Spitting
You can't
image.
not miss
That's the ultimate
You can't
one,
miss
isn't
it out.
spitting
It
image
was-
had to get big
yeah,
time.
and there weren't many kids of our generation that hadn't seen it. We all watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
Yeah, yeah. If you were born in the 80s and late 70s, you watched spitting
Yeah.
You
image.
were throwing
yeah,
chickens in,
blatantly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like another one of those forbidden programs for kids was like the young ones.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Yeah.
Of course,
Thinking
man,
of that,
yeah.
yes.
Strictly not children's TV.
Yeah. But
Even kids watching that,
it was
hilarious.
live action Tom and Jerry. It was
Yeah.
slapstick. It was
Yeah.
people getting hit with pans
Yeah.
and that. Same with Bottom. When I moved
Yeah.
on to Bottom, it was the same
Same
Tom
thing.
and Jerry type.
Didn't work as well for me.
Nah, but
What
the
Bottom
young
was
ones.
hilarious,
I
man.
did. I'm not for me as good as.
That was it
Yeah.
was good.
Nah, I would watch
Them
Bottom.
two
But young
together,
ones,
though, are-
yeah.
them two
Yeah.
together
But
are
But
good.
young ones was you remember the classic episode where he was on the train. He put his
Yeah.
head
Out the window.
out the window and his
the
head come
tunnel.
off and his head was
Yeah.
cussing
There
him
was
and
one
he's
where they
kicking his head down the train
had-
tunnel.
someone put a pickaxe through his head. He had a crash helmet on.
Yeah.
Someone put a pickaxe for the whole show. He had this pickaxe through his head. They were classics.
And Alexa Sale coming in. Hello, John got a new motor.
Yeah. They'd have a whole song in it. It turned into
Yeah,
like a
that
little,
went in
Yeah.
the charts as well.
yeah.
The young ones. So what other shows? What about?
Quite liked. Sorry, mate. Quite liked like animal shows. Do you remember like the Really Wild show?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was good.
Really Wild show was good.
Really
it might have been
Wild.
late '80s, I think.
Yeah, Michaela
Really
Strachan.
Wild.
Michaela Strachan.
But she was on Whack-A-Day.
She was on
before.
Whack-A-Day for a bit as well, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think before that we got years before that we had Animal Magic, which
Yes.
must have been through the '60s. That was sort of going out in the '70s. We were young, but I remember it was that
What's his
old
name
guy,
again?
the old guy dressed up as a zookeeper. It
Yeah.
was filmed at Bristol Zoo. And he
Yeah.
used to chat with the animals.
Yeah,
didn't he?
that's
It was-
right.
And that's
Yeah.
all it was. It was a basic thing, but it
Yeah.
was really good. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't think of his
Can't
name
think
now.
of his name, yeah,
I do
yeah.
know it. I
Well,
do know
didn't
it.
David Bellamy have some kind of
David Bellamy. Yeah.
animal show? Like,
No, he's more about plants and stuff. wasn't
Johnny
he?
Morris.
Johnny Morris is
Johnny
his name.
Morris.
Yeah.
Is it? And that featured Terry Nutkins.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Terry Nutkins was quite young on Animal
Yes.
Magic, but then he went on after
to do the Really Wild
to
show.
do the Really Wild show.
Chris,
yeah.
Chris Packham.
Chris
and-
Packham, Terry Nutkins, and Michaela
Michaela
Strachan. Yeah.
Strachan.
I think Michaela started a few years after them two. I think
Yeah.
them two were on their own with another woman. There was another woman with short hair, I remember. It was her for a few years, then Michaela Strachan replaced her. But yeah, I used to really like Really Wild
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Really Wild show was good. And them other two I just said.
Yeah.
The one
Dude,
with the zoo.
David Bellamy.
David Bellamy, yeah.
There's compost here. He's just got this. You remember when we
He
saw
liked being
him?
a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
When we won an award for our music many moons back, and he was there,
He
wasn't he?
was there,
Giving
yeah,
out
he
an award or
presented-
something.
yeah, what was, yeah.
And I said, "That's David Bellamy," and
was a
everyone
bit
else was like,
Everyone used to do the impressions.
"Yeah,
of
all
back in the
this."
day,
And
innit?
I got,
Always,
I was like in awe. Like there were so many other people there, but I wanted to photo with David Bellamy, man. That's one of the childhood.
yeah.
Do you know what
You
I
still
mean?
had that big bit?
Yeah.
Like the geezer off of
Yeah.
Flash Gordon?
Still,
Yeah.
yeah, like Brian
Alive.
Blessed. Yeah, Gordon's alive. Yes, that same Bellamy look,
Easy.
man. Yeah,
David Bellamy.
David Bellamy, brother. I just
mate
remember he just
plants,
like
wasn't it?
plants
He
and,
loved his
and,
plants,
and
man.
mud and
He was wicked
and
with
getting
the old
into
plants,
it.
man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Jack Canori.
Jack and Nori was. It
Jackanory
could be
was
really
alright.
boring sometimes, but then
Yeah.
you could get the odd one that was really good, and then sometimes they had really good people reading them as well,
Yeah.
which I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it could be boring, but
But my favourite book one was Storybook International, man. You remember the theme tune?
Like, I remember the guy.
I'm a storyteller, and my stories must be told.
He's sitting on the
In
tree.
Germany, I'm Johann. In England, I am John.
Whoa,
You remember
his
that?
first line, yeah,
Oh
I remember
my
the first
God.
line. I remember that first line. I don't remember the Joe
Mate,
and John bit.
Storybook International.
He's sitting in the
I
tree.
just watched it, yeah, with his
That's all I can
guitar
remember.
thing. Mate, do you remember that, Stax?
very, very, very.
I can remember it
very,
only
very-
again because, like, how you would call your mate sad sack sometimes.
Yeah.
You would sing that to him when you knew he was bullshitting.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller. Yeah, if someone started telling a story, yeah. I'm a story. Yeah, oh, yes.
You would sing that to him.
Mate, I just watched it. I didn't know what. It's just stories from around the world.
It was weird. I prefer Jack and Ori myself.
No, but remember, the theme tune has to grab me.
I'm a story.
And that was the theme tune, man. And
Wow.
my stories, mate.
That's what let Jack and Ori down, and it didn't have a theme tune.
Storybook
That ran for 30 years,
International.
though.
Jack and Ori.
Jack and Ori's running for 30
Damn.
years, over 3,600 and something episodes. I think I remember my favourites of that was, I think it was Bernard Cribbins used to do a lot of the readings, which I liked him. He was quite
See,
funny.
Stack's trying to escape the studio on the slide, man.
I also remember them reading The Hobbit, which I liked, and I remember there was a whole week or two of them reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which them Jack and Ori stuck out for me. Apart from that, but later on, I don't know. Have you ever seen any of the adult ones?
No, I heard about them.
Crack and Ori.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were shown on Dave.
Yeah, I heard about
few
them. I
years
never
back.
got to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like Barry Norman, he had, back in the day, he had the film 80s, 3s. I think that's when I first started watching it. That was
It's the only way of getting your trailers.
Yeah, that was the go-to to watch trailers. I used to watch it. The trick I used to learn from that is watch it at the end of season, like in May. So he would tell you the films that are coming out
for
that
a few
summer.
months. For a few months.
Yeah,
he did actually.
Until I think they would come back in September.
Yeah,
So for that time, you'd get all the latest.
You'd get a good selection of this is coming, this is coming.
coming.
Good heads
Yeah,
up
man.
of what's coming.
That was another late show you had to try and stay up to watch just to see those bits, or they'll go behind the scenes of a film that's out or something, or
Sometimes
interview
they'd have
someone
a
interesting.
really good film on it, man.
Yeah,
It'd be well worth
go
watching
behind
that.
the scenes,
I did
man.
like that.
I love that. But he had a show for kids. I don't know if you guys remember, called Screen Test, and it was like it's like a quiz show based on films.
A panel of 2 panels of kids or something.
Yeah, it was like a university challenge,
Sounds
like
familiar.
Yeah, that's
set
what
up,
it reminded
Sounds
me of.
familiar.
but just all about kids' films.
Screen Test, yeah.
You remember that?
I do remember it, yeah. It was 2 teams. I think but they were school teams.
Yeah.
It was like university challenge, but it was like, it couldn't have been secondary school kids.
I always wanted to go on that show.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
That was one show as a kid. Always wanted to go on. You remember the kids show called Mini Pops, when kids dressed up as pop stars of that time.
Yeah.
And
Through
mime
the-
songs.
Not through the keyhole. It was like a
It's called Mini Pops.
Tonight, Matthew, I want to be.
No, it was
like a
it was
kids
like
version.
that, yeah.
Version
But it didn't
Stars
go
in
through
Your
a.
Eyes.
Yeah, Stars, it was like a kids version.
They didn't go through smoke and come back.
Transformation, yeah, they just
They
turned
just
up.
performed like a
They
Shakin'
turned up,
Stevens
yeah.
or Madonna or Cindy Lauper or something. Do you remember that program?
Yeah, I
Vaguely,
do remember it.
vaguely.
There was another.
It's a strange program.
There was another one before. I think it might have been before Screen Test called Clapperboard.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
If you saw the opening credits, you would remember it.
That sounds
straight away.
familiar.
And it was the same. It was 2 school. I think school team quizzes again. Like 2 teams facing off, and it was just cinema questions, cinema.
Yeah,
stuff.
I used to love all those
Clapperboard.
kind of shows.
But you'd
man.
remember the opening title. I remember it clearly.
Clapperboard.
That was like Screen Test.
And then around that kind of time, after Screen Test, you had like Record Breakers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Record Breakers.
Record Breakers.
Castle.
is Roy Castle.
Guinness
Man.
Book of World
World Records.
World
Turn to
Records.
Jonathan Ross now.
Yeah, I remember it. I used to
But
like that.
and remember the
Roy
episode with
Castle.
Daddy Freddie and to be the
Yeah.
fastest rapper.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Daddy Freddy.
Yeah.
I remember him. Yeah. I saw him recently on something. I think over the weekend he was at a festival that's just been on or something.
Yeah,
I saw a little
Daddy
something
Freddy.
on him. Yeah, Daddy Freddy. And he was doing the same
Yes.
sort of.
Yes.
He looks really old now. But he was doing
Yes,
the same sort
yes,
of rhymes.
Record Breakers, man.
Freddy, yeah, fastest. It was rapping.
He's
Wasn't
the
he? He was trying
fastest
to-
rapper, yeah.
He didn't even seem
Yeah.
like a rapper really. But
And Blue Peter.
that ran for a year.
That ran
Is that still? It must still be.
Is
going,
it still on?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it is actually. I know Television Centre ain't there anymore where it used to be.
Yeah,
broadcast,
yeah.
That's what offices and flats now, isn't it?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Blue Peter,
With their
something
animals.
I would just leave on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too interested in it, but it was just on.
When it like one of the last programs to come on, like at 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm
5:30 or
saying.
So you
So-
just leave it on.
It's time, and I think that kind of, but on ITV, kind of like Danger Mouse was one of the last kind of programs to be
Yeah.
on. So I'd rather or Duckula or something. So I'd watch something like that.
Maybe dip into a bit of Blue Peter. I used to like to see how the animals were getting on. Didn't they have like a tortoise that used to hibernate and they used to try and wake it up? I'm sure it was dead most of the time.
The animals were getting on.
Let me just check on the animals.
There was some dogs in it. Was it Shep was early on, and then Goldie? Remember Goldie?
Oh,
Goldie.
Yes.
Before that, it was Shep. There was one wicked episode. You still see it going around social media now. It was the guy who was with Shep. I can't think of his name now. The famous presenter, and they made him clean Nelson's column. You've got to Google it and watch it. He climbs to the top of Nelson's column with ladders that are tied together. Obviously, this is like early 80s, maybe 70s. Yeah. There was no health and safety. So the guy who was doing it literally had full extended aluminium ladders tied together with rope going the height of Nelson's column. And he climbed it. He climbed
it. Record break.
No, but it was just to clean it. It was on Blue Peter.
Oh, Blue Peter. I thought it was still a record break.
No, this was just on Blue Peter showing you how to clean it.
I don't know what zone I'm into.
So he just done it for entertainment. He didn't even do it to break a record.
No, it was just to clean it. And it literally, I don't know how he done it and not died. Like, it was.
Wow.
I'm thinking about it. I'm getting sweaty hands thinking about it. But yeah, you got to watch it. That's crazy.
That sounds crazy.
Is it Peter Duncan?
Peter Duncan, the guy that's in Flash Gordon.
He was on Blue Peter, wasn't
and he put his hand in the scorpion thing in Flash Gordon. Where you remember that?
It weren't him, but he was on Blue Peter, wasn't he? Yeah, he was on Flash Gordon.
He's in Flash Gordon.
He put his hand in that thing. Peter Duncan. It wasn't Peter Duncan. There was another famous name. It was the guy who had Shep. Like, Shep, whatever. Oh, what was his name?
I don't remember his name.
So it was Shep. I don't know. Anyway, we'll Google it one day. I'll show you.
We'll Google it.
That's hilarious.
Google it. I know we're not talking about cartoons, but you know the slight animated ones. We touched on Ragdolliana and Raggy Dolls. Remember the Munch Bunch though as well.
Munch Bunch. Yeah, and there was
the fruits that would hang out together.
Yeah.
The Munch Bunch.
Yeah. Because there's Yogurt Munch Bunch out now. I'm sure that is still going back to them,
to those.
That is where the Munch Bunch come from.
Yeah.
I think there was little sort of foam toys of them.
Toys of them,
like what kids were called squishies nowadays, like those.
And from that kind of animation, from that you had like Dr. Snuggles. In his air balloon.
An inventor or
Dr.
something.
Snuggles. Kind of show.
That has brought back
Dr. Snuggles?
Dr. Snuggles. That was weird.
You had the Giddy Game Show. As well. You had Pigeon Street. I
can only remember Long Distance Clara.
Rubber Dub Dub. Remember that?
Rings a bell.
Rubber Dub Dub. Remember Rubber Dub? I just remember the theme tune again. These theme tunes, it's always this stick in my head, man. And also, remember Marmalade Atkins?
I remember it. I wasn't a fan. It was a little ginger-haired, ginger-haired, freckly girl, wasn't it?
And Punky Brewster was the American version.
Well, they sort of like
troublesome girls, naughty girls, like.
Yeah, it wasn't something I watched, but it was on. It was on, yeah.
And Adrian Mole, the Secret Dive Adrian Mole.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that being a radio show at first.
The books were really popular.
Then I think it was a radio show for a few weeks, and then it got made into was that for kids though? Or was that for more?
It was a bit, it was about on 7 o'clock or something, 8 o'clock or something, wasn't it? But as a kid, I still watched it. But I remember reading the book. So
I got a feeling the kid who played Adrian Mole as well, he went on and presented one of the shows we spoke about earlier, and I got a feeling it might have been. No, it won't Get Fresh. I think before Get Fresh, there was a couple of Saturday morning shows that didn't last more than a few months. I'm sure he presented one of them.
Yeah.
I remember reading somewhere the guy off of main character of Adrian Mole. I don't remember much of it apart from it sort of followed his diary. And he was 13 and 3
quarters. He was in love with Pandora.
That was it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah. So you were going to say earlier about earlier kids' TV shows. And the shows we used to watch in school.
Some of the school.
You remember the shows you used to watch in school when it's like 2 o'clock after lunch?
You
go in the library, roll out a telly, pull back the doors, the wooden doors on this
shaded the
dusty telly.
As well, didn't they?
Everyone's whispering. Your teacher tell you to sit down, shh, and she'd put on the telly, and you would watch Dark Towers, man.
Like you'd have to wait like a minute for those little dots to disappear.
Yeah, the time code.
You had to wait for the little time thing to disappear, and then it would start.
Dark Towers.
But these were on show. I think Dark Towers. I'm sure it was. When isn't it on Words and Pictures?
Words and Pictures, all part of Words. So you watch a bit of Words and Pictures to introduce it, and now we'll go to Dark Towers.
So every week there'll be a next episode of Dark Towers or something. And there was another one that was weird. Was Picture Box. I can only remember the freaky start of it, which was. Reminds me of like Tales of the Unexpected. It was like a little glass cabinet that span round with some really
that
freaky
sounds familiar,
weird music. But it was another TV schools
What's the name of it again?
picture box.
Yes, and it had a ding ding ding.
Yeah,
Yes,
It was, it was a bit freaky. There's a link on Facebook, Urban Shapers,
Yes.
to it. 'Cause I put one up the other day, but yeah, check it out. 'Cause that'll bring
Yeah,
back
I
some
remember
memories.
that.
But there was that and Words and Pictures. Words and Pictures had that wordy character as well, didn't it?
Yes, and what was one with a pen, a pencil? It's to draw on the screen.
That's
a big
Yeah,
pencil.
a magic pencil thing.
Yeah,
Like
is
a
that
light.
the same program?
I think
it might be, yeah.
It was like a light, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
a light thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the same. But I remember that would definitely show Dark Towers.
And the Boy from Space.
Boy from Space was weird.
Yeah.
Just the boy that played the Boy from Space was
Yeah.
odd.
I don't remember what it looked like, but I
think
remember
there was
being
like-
freaked out by Dark
Yeah.
Towers. That's what
Dark
I
Towers
remember.
was good. That was about a night, wasn't it? I think.
A
Was
night,
it a night or something?
yeah.
It's Ghost of a Night. Or
Yeah.
something. But I remember it was good. I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to see
To
the
see
next
the-
installment
remember?
of that. Yeah, that was good. For a school thing, that was good.
Yeah.
Them school sort of lunchtime.
It was just a good
Educational
excuse to just
programmes
not just to not write anything for an hour, innit?
Sit and
Just
watch a bit of telly.
Sit and watch a bit of telly.
It's like what were broadcast companies like saying to teachers, just have an hour off, sit the kids in front of this.
Yeah.
We'll take over.
Go and get your coffee.
Yeah, it was odd. It was really weird having them lessons, but yeah, I used to liked it back in the day, especially Dark Towers. That was
Yeah, Dark Towers was good, man. Dark Towers. But let's get on the animals, man. There's so many. There's probably people screaming out saying, yeah, what about Benji or Littlest
the
Hobo?
old ones. It wasn't. They were all US ones, weren't they? Really thinking about it.
Yeah. There was no
good-
English dogs,
There
were
was
there? No
good
English animals
dog
on adventures.
Nah, it was all
true,
thinking
That's
about
true, you know.
Lassie, Benji.
Lassie,
it.
Benji, Flipper.
Littlest Hobo.
Hobo.
I think Littlest Hobo was my favourite out of
Yeah.
them, but I like the other two. I like
Just because of the
Benji.
theme
Lassie
tune.
was
It's the
good.
theme tune
was-
that got you
was
going.
another one that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
That's up there with the Fall Guy. It's one of them ones.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
It's like, that's a classic.
How did
I
it
like
go?
that.
You know what? It's completely left me,
There's
but
a place that keeps on calling me.
every stop I take, I got a new friend.
Just
Just turn around.
just turn
Yeah,
around,
I'm home again.
That's the one.
Maybe tomorrow I just want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I just keep on moving on.
That's the one. Something like that. It was wicked. It was wicked. Probably drew you in to watch the program. But the stories were quite good as well.
Do you remember Champion the Wonder Horse?
Yeah, can't remember an episode, but
I don't remember. I just remember that
watching it.
song. The man is screaming down the mic about the Champion Wonder Horse.
Was it black and white?
Black and white.
Black and white, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
And
proper
Zorro
old.
in them days.
Yeah.
as well.
Do you remember one that went, we ride? I don't know the name of it. I don't remember. We ride. I don't remember the rest of it. But it's like the beginner just riding on horses like
Someone will
like
know.
nutters.
That sounds familiar. I can remember
Yeah,
like,
like just nothing.
charging. Another one,
Yeah,
like,
just charging
I
like,
can't remember what.
get them boys. But so yeah,
There's the
Benji,
animal ones, yeah.
Flipper the dolphin. As you say, Littlest Hobo was probably
I like Gentle Ben, man.
Gentle
Ben.
Ben.
Gentleman was good. I like that one as well. The bear.
Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams. Yeah, that was another one. That reminds. I always think they're the same thing, but no, they're not. But yeah.
Do you remember the Tarzan live action series?
Black and white one again.
Black and white one
Yeah,
again.
I liked that one.
Yeah,
That one was good.
yeah. I remember them ones,
Yeah,
and they were
classics, like
it
the
was-
black and white Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Harold Lloyd. Harold Lloyd
yeah.
was just
Harold
like
Lloyd was good.
again. That used to come on mainly in
stunts.
6 weeks holidays. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
always see him
yeah.
hanging off a clock.
Yeah,
Clock
tower,
hand, didn't it?
off the hand,
Harold
yeah.
Lloyd.
We would get into some
Mate.
mixed up situations.
And it was just was that again silent comedy? There was just
I think
no talking, was it?
It
Just
might have been, you
I
know.
think it was just that the words came up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And
on
some
screen,
like piano
didn't it?
music in the
Yeah.
background.
That was early It was almost sort of Charlie Chaplin, Harold Lloyd,
Harold Lloyd, Laurel and Hardy.
Lauren Hardy.
What's
was
those?
another one
Those
that-
were Three Stooges,
Three
the
Stooges.
Marx
I
Brothers.
used to love
Marx
that.
Brothers, yeah.
Love the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers.
They all them sort of things. Yeah, they would get shown sort of at summer holidays.
Yeah, all
They
slapstick
would
and
fun.
the Little Rascals.
Little Rascals.
All that,
I
man.
vaguely remember that.
A bunch of
of it.
kids,
Yeah,
a
I
bunch of
remember
kids
it.
are making go karts and that, and just no. Those those are the memories, you know. As I say again, that's why we're doing this podcast, man. Just old school movements, man. Nostalgia, innit? It's like, there's so much. As we say every week, there's so much more we can go through.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing, like, if you guys got suggestions and any things that we've missed out on,
Comment, man. Just let us
comment,
know.
let us
Yeah.
know, man. Let us know because
We've always got a next part ready.
Yeah,
we
part
think of so
twos.
many other things after it's finished as well, don't we? We're like,
yeah,
oh,
should have said
there's
that.
So, yeah.
You know.
Could
Does
always-
anything else spring to mind for you guys within the old school kids TV programs? I think Chris wants to sleep now, man. You know, like when you remember in the 80s when you had a toy, yeah, and it had a battery operated and the batteries would catch, and it'll be it's coming to the end, and it's
You just get the last bit of energy and it dies.
It's not. Oh, I didn't need batteries, man. I only had these batteries 6 hours ago.
I'm not like the Duracell bunny.
No, just. But yeah, so that closes the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Old School Movements, Kids TV edition.
We should say maybe this episode has been brought to you by the numbers 8 and the letter T and V.
Why those?
TV podcast. It was like a Sesame Street throwback.
Yes. it went over Steve's head, but Steve
No, I got him.
So why didn't you say anything,
Because
man?
I was waiting
Just
for
left
you,
him
innit?
hanging, man.
We could have talked about, like, at the start of it, about this episode, but today we're going through the round window or the square window.
Oh,
Yeah, you
what's
could
that?
have
Play School?
Play School,
Yeah.
yeah.
Humpty and
Humpty,
Jemima and
Jemima.
Big Ted and Little Ted.
I can remember Big Ted, Little Ted and Humpty. I couldn't remember the rest.
Yeah,
Jemima.
Jemima.
And the Mr. Men.
Mr.
Men, yeah. Mr. Men was another one, yeah.
See, like, this is
See,
what
we
happens.
remember Play School because of the presenter was Floella Benjamin, yeah.
Yes.
Which we met in a competition one time.
Yes, in the breakdancing competition.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. We come fourth.
Come fourth, yeah.
In like 1986.
Something like that.
Something like that. We came fourth in the borough breakdance competition. We all in our Cicchini tracksuits. We all had a different colour. And around those times, we could only choose a certain amount of tunes because it was like we couldn't choose La Di Da Di, but that had swearing in it.
It was kids, yeah.
So it had to be Axel F.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan Feel For You.
Yeah. I think Paul Hardcastle.
Paul Hardcastle, 19. And
probably about it. I can remember.
Maybe Dougie Fresh's Show. I don't know.
I remember
I think you lot should reenact it and put it up on
one of
YouTube.
those tunes. Yeah, and it was a wicked experience at that time. All that we trained. It's like montage, 80s montage when you're learning how to do a moonwalk and then you know it. You learn how to body pop. Now you know it. How to do crazy legs. How to go into turtle. Went to that competition, man. All different schools from the boroughs, man. It was there, but to come fourth, I mean, we weren't experienced breakdancers at the time. We just learnt it quick. And the competition is big.
It was wicked. Yeah, it was wicked.
You know what I mean?
That's why I always remember Play School because of
Floella Benjamin. And that was the only celebrity that we knew that we recognised at the breakdance competition, isn't it? Yeah. Damn. Going way back. Yeah, so guys, thank you again for listening. My name is Darren Lucas.
I'm Chris.
Stacks.
And I hope you enjoyed another episode of Old School Movements. Yeah, this.
Till next time.